Hello everyone, it's Johnny again. Here today, I believe I'm in Ohio. No, I'm in Pennsylvania tonight. And I just got through recording another truck driver and asked him a couple of questions about his thoughts on the general strike. Tonight's video is titled One of Three, What is Meant by Free and Fair Elections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to go down in the description of this video, of this YouTube channel, and right there you'll see the name Lawrence Lessig or Larry Lessig. Click on that YouTube video, please, and he's going to give you about maybe an 18 to 20 minute video or explanation of what he means by free and fair elections. So please take a look at that, and you'll get a better idea of what it is that we're trying to do. So about free and fair elections, just a recap on what that is. Basically is some ideas about getting rid of gerrymandering, making it easier for people to vote, even a voting holiday. That's what Bernie Sanders had suggested a while back. Also, we want to talk about the corruption. This is something that I've been focused on the last couple of days, how corrupt our government is. Yesterday's video with Chris Hedges, just a little short excerpt on his book, The Death of the Liberal Class, and Sheldon Woolden's book on, or his ideas on what he called inverted totalitarianism. So that's what we live in. We live in a state that we've lost, and it's time we get it back and get really serious about getting it back. I really honestly can't think of any other strategy outside of revolution. Now, what I mean by revolution, again, is it's going to be a peaceful revolution. We're not going to go up in arms with guns and raid the Capitol, nothing like that. But it is going to be peaceful and thoughtful and very strategic. Now, I've talked to a couple of just normal everyday people too, and they're all for it. All we need to do now is spread the word, wear the red and white on our bodies and on our vehicles as we go about. All these truck drivers are all in agreement. If they saw enough red and white in the country, that they would go out and on a general strike if forced to. Again, I repeat, we're not going to even go there. If enough of us wear red and white threatening a general strike, tell them, the federal government, that they're going to either give us an Article 5 States Convention to pass the amendment for free and fair elections, or they'll do it, but only according to the approval of Larry Lessig, because he is the foremost expert on this. He knows what he's talking about, and he knows how to get our government back. So it's about getting our government back, and it's about strategy. Now, there's a lot of people on the internet, I hear it all the time, well, yeah, we're going to do electoral policies, and we're going to vote this person in, and, this person's a real progressive, or this person's even a real conservative that agrees that we need to get our country back. But the problem with that kind of thinking is that, number one, it'll take forever, because those that are in power right now have way too much power, and they control the levers of power and whether or not, or how elections go. We saw that in the Bernie Sanders losing the primary. They've got it so rigged, where it's next to impossible. It's just too hard. Now, Nick Brown, I believe his name is, kudos to him and his team, working hard. As a matter of fact, his name is on the description as well of this video. On the People's Party, I understand it's not a movement anymore. They're a legitimate, for sure party. And the argument there is that, well, now you got the spoiler, the third party that's going to split the ticket. And, and that's always a problem. Lawrence Lessig talks about that in this video. And there's another thing, ranked choice voting is something we could do. Whatever it is that we try to do, believe me when I tell you, it's not going to happen, because we have a corrupt government running the show. Let me repeat that. We have a corrupt government running the show, and it's not going to happen. The only way we're going to get true blue change is if we do a true blue revolution, one with power. It's not enough anymore to write your congressperson to say, hey, would you please do the right thing and act right? Because they're not going to act right, because they like their their seat, their position of power. They don't want to lose that position of power, so they will continue doing what their donors tell them to do. I don't have enough money. And Bernie Sanders had enough money, but they're so powerful that they blocked him because they knew that what he was going to do is cut their pay. So it's all about money. It's all about money. And the foundation of this revolution is in an understanding of the basics of modern money, macroeconomics. But the true macroeconomics, not this bullcrap that you hear them talk about on the TV, myths and legends, as Steve Grumbine would call it. We have to understand the basics of modern money, and you get that from his website, Real Progressives. You understand what's going on with the voting, an amendment for the Constitution to get our voting rights back, from Lawrence Lessig. And then from Chris Hedges, you're going to get the third part of our demand, this thing about the manufacturing of consent, right? And he hopefully will write up a proposal on how we fix that, either through a legislation or an amendment. And that's going to be a hard one, I think. And lastly, I'll talk about William Kate Black. That guy is, I think he's a lawyer. He's a professor right now, but who's made famous by prosecuting a lot of white-collar criminals during the savings and loan, what he would call the savings and loan debacle in the 1980s. And he's still at it. Right now, Real Progressives is airing a series called The New Untouchables, The Con, where a group of people, him included, talk about how the financial crisis came out and how there was what he called control fraud. So we're surrounded by corruption and fraud, and we're just sitting here going to work day by day, taking it, and we don't have to take it. And here's the kicker, guys: it's not that hard. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Wear red and white, put it on your vehicles, put it on your bodies, and walk around. Do that for 6 months. People are going to start saying, what's the deal with the red and white? Oh, well, what it is that we're asking those people who have power in our community, workers like you and I, to exert that power in the form of going on a general strike, garbage collectors and truck drivers, on our behalf, and demanding 3 things. And if they don't get 3 things, then they're going to demand 6 if they're absolutely have to go on strike. And you know, these guys, I'm telling you guys, they're itching for it. How dare me to go on strike and shut this puppy down. You know, dare me. I'll go, because I know that I'm not going back to work until I get a pay raise, a substantial pay raise. Again, it's not for them, it's for us first, you know. So, you know, you gotta have enthusiasm. You gotta believe that this is gonna work, and it will work. So this video series is about solutions. Now, if you got a better idea, then throw it out there. You know, email me, you know, in my blog, you know, on my website. And by the way, speaking of the website, I changed it. I don't think I want to call it The Dollar and the Hero anymore. That's a little too long-winded. So what I've done instead is I'm going to call it Of, By, and For You. The letter N and the number 4. Of, By, N, For You, N, I. Okay, there it is. Of, by, and for you and I.com. Right, like uni, you and I. Of, by, and for you and I.com. So I'll close with this. Remember, as I'm closing with this video, that by sharing this video, then please subscribe, guys. I need subscribers, okay? We can't get this out unless you subscribe and share it. So do that at this time. Okay, so let's see, what was I going to say? Yeah, by sharing this video, you're sharing a double-edged sword. If the wealthy individuals get a hold of this video, this idea, and see what's going on, and they see that you're not moving on it, that you don't believe in yourself, that you don't believe that you have the power, that you can't do it, then when, how you say it in con más ganas, they'll be emboldened. They'll be emboldened to do even more and take away even more as they are, and they'll keep continuing playing their games. So, you know, be careful. Be careful, because you act. In other words, don't just, you know, hit the subscribe button and act on this, because it's going to mean whether or not they're going to go harder on us or they're actually going to light up. I honestly think that if there's enough of us, red and white, in the country, they'll see that, and we won't go 6 months without them starting to say, let's start agreeing on things, because these people are serious. You know, I really believe that. I don't think we're going to go on strike, but that's up to you, isn't it? Each and every individual. It's up to you all to make that decision. So I'm going to close with that, and this is Revolution. And let me close with a video. Another truck driver enthused about being your new political representative. Hello, sir. Are you a truck driver?
Yes, sir, I am.
I imagine you're in your truck, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's a movement going on right now, and we're considering asking the truck drivers and garbage collectors around the country to be the new political representative of the people, since the representatives we have right now don't do for the working class. We're asking you to consider, if you saw enough people wearing red and white on their vehicles and on their bodies, would you be willing to go on a general strike for the following three things? An amendment to the Constitution for free and fair elections, a vote on Medicare for all. We don't have to pass it, but we deserve a vote. And some sort of legislation that'll stop the manufacturing of consent defined by Noam Chomsky. Would you be willing to go on a general strike for that?
Yes, I would. I support the people, you know. You want to let them know that truck drivers, you know, we stand behind their actions too. I mean, it's not fair what's going on in the world today with the media, and, you know, not getting a fair vote, and, you know, everything that comes with that territory. You know, we want to let the people know that we stand behind them too. We all for it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.